Hello guys, LEGO Master Reviews here, and today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 minifigures from 2023. This is from multiple different themes, as you can see here, and obviously this is a lot more than 10 minifigures, but these are pretty much all the contenders I had in mind, and I narrowed them down to the top 10. All these minifigures are great though, but with that out of the way, let's jump right into my top 10. Coming in at number 10 for me personally is the Mandalorian Season 3 Bo-Katan minifigure. There's no denying this minifigure is just insanely detailed. I mean, just look at the arm printing with the Night Owl logo there. Just everything on this minifigure is so good. The helmet printing is also amazing here, and she also has an awesome face print underneath that, which I think is just so accurate. And on the back there's another face print, but she also included a second hairpiece, which is an entirely new mold as well. That just looks so good, and she even included a new mold for the Darksaber. But yeah, this is just a great minifigure. And before this, we actually had a Bo-Katan minifigure from the Clone Wars, but it really just wasn't that great. The hairpiece was terrible compared to this one, and I just think this is easily one of the best LEGO Star Wars minifigures of the year, and that's why I put it on this top 10. And despite some of the problems I did have with The Mandalorian Season 3, there's no denying this is an amazing minifigure, and that's why it landed the spot in number 2. Coming in at number 9 for me is the Vision minifigure from the Avengers Tower set. This minifigure is just so awesome. It's been quite some time since we got a Vision minifigure, other than that white Vision from the Marvel CMF Series 1. And I think this is just a great minifigure and an amazing upgrade from the original Visions. I love the leg printing on those translucent legs there, and I just think it looks so awesome, and it matches up with the cape. It's at the same length there, so it just really does look amazing. And I love that cape as well, and that plasticky texture. And then the torso printing is also amazing there with the gold and pink detailing. On the back, there's also a great back torso print too, which looks amazing. It also has back head printing, which I think is awesome, and the face printing is amazing as well. I'm so glad they got the Infinity Stone color right. I feel like they never get that right on Vision minifigures, so it's so awesome to see them get it right there. And this Vision minifigure is just so cool, and that's why it landed number 9. Landing in the number 8 spot for me is the Maraka minifigure from the Ahsoka's T6 Jedi Shuttle. I think this is an awesome minifigure. It has so many great prints, as well as this awesome lightsaber here. I love the leg printing there with all the rusty printing and detailing, as well as a little bit of rust on that torso. The shoulder mold here is also super cool. It was originally used on the Grand Inquisitor, but works great for his character here. Then he has an awesome helmet mold. I think this is so cool. Works great for customs, but it's just super accurate to his character as well. And unfortunately, he just has a plain black head underneath, but it is kind of accurate since he ended up being this Night Sister smoke in the show. So I guess it is kind of accurate, but still, I would have liked some kind of printing, even though I guess it would have been a spoiler. But still, I really like this minifigure. His character was awesome in the show for the limited amount of time we got him in there. I think this is just an amazing minifigure and one of the best Star Wars minifigures of the year. In 7th place is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man from the Spider-Man No Way Home set. This is such an awesome minifigure. It's long overdue to get him in a new minifigure form. I think LEGO nailed it out of the park with him. The dual molding is super awesome. I could have gone for a little bit of printing, but still, I think it looks great. The torso printing is also amazing there with the accurate spider, as well as all the webbing. Just looks great. I love the silver detailing. And on the back, there's even another spider. Lovely back head print as well, and that face print is just absolutely amazing. It was so great to get Tobey's Spider-Man in a new LEGO minifigure updated form. But he did also include a second face print, which is nothing really to brag about, but I guess it is kind of part of the minifigure, so I just wanted to show you here. It just looks nothing like Tobey Maguire at all. I just think this is a horrible choice for the face print, but just leaving the mask on, I think he's easily one of the best minifigures of the year. Long overdue to get him. I'm so glad we finally got him in an updated form, and that's why he lands number 7. And right behind Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, in 6th place is the Amazing Spider-Man, or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I love this minifigure as well. The dual molding looks great on him, as well as that awesome torso print there with that huge spider. And on the back, there's also another great back torso print. I love the head print as well with those big lenses there. It looks so awesome. But the only real reason I put this one above Tobey, since they basically have the same amount of detail, is the extra head of LEGO included for Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I think it looks a lot more accurate to Andrew Garfield there. I think that just looks a lot like him. The hairpiece is also a great choice, and the back one also kind of looks like Andrew Garfield. So they're basically the same amount of detail, and they're basically tied in my eyes. But I think if you're counting the extra heads, I think Andrew does look a lot more accurate. So that's why I put him above him. But still, I think both the Spider-Man minifigures this year were amazing and easily had to be in the top 10. Coming in at 5th place is the Ahsoka Tano minifigure from the Ahsoka series. She came in the Ahsoka Tano's T6 Jedi Shuttle, and this is another amazing minifigure. The leg printing is incredible, especially with that toe print there. I love the torso printing on her as well. That kind of carries on from the legs. And on the back, you also get a great torso print showing some of the orange skin. It is a bit faded though compared to the actual bright orange on the arms, but still I think it looks great. She also included a great face print as well as an awesome new mold for Leku there. And on the side, you got incredible arm printing. I think that looks amazing there with the gray and blue there. And on the other side, there's also some great printing. She also had a second facial expression as well, which was pretty neat. And she included her 2 white lightsabers, which are kind of more clear, but still, I think they get the job done. And this is a great minifigure. Definitely my favorite Ahsoka minifigure LEGO's ever released, and I'm very impressed with this one, and that's why it lands number 5. Coming in 4th place for me personally is the Captain Rex minifigure from the UCS vendor. It has been so long since we got a Captain Rex minifigure, so it's so cool to see him included there. He has some amazing arm printing there on each side with the buttons on that side as well as like the tally marks on that arm. Unfortunately, it is a bit covered up by the awesome shoulder pauldron there. You also get a great torso print on the back. There's some great torso printing as well. And unfortunately, he did have a printed waist cape, but it's honestly not that bad. The 2 guns included are also very cool. I also love the helmet here. Like, all the printing on there is just so cool. It included a rangefinder as well, and underneath, you get part of my favorite clone face print, maybe besides, like, Commander Cody's, with Rex there with the bandage. I think that looks so cool. And honestly, this minifigure probably would have landed number 1 if it didn't have the helmet holes and the printed waist cape and like the oversized shoulder pauldron. Like, this is an amazing minifigure. I think there's no denying that. I just think it could have been a lot better, which is why it kind of landed a little bit lower on my list. But still, I love this minifigure, and it was so cool to see Captain Rex again. We've now reached the top 3, and coming in at 3rd place for me is the Stitch 626 minifigure from the Disney 100 CMF series. I love this minifigure so much. I love Stitch so much, and this is just so cool to see him in this outfit. I love the front torso printing on him there, as well as the awesome leg printing with his toe sticking out. He also has some like knee pads there, which is really awesome. And on the back, I also really like the printing with like the quills poking out of his back, as well as the little tail there. I think that's super awesome. He also reintroduced the like double arm mold that came on the Star Wars sets. Like in, I believe, like 2018 when the Solo Star Wars story sets were coming out. So it was really cool to see that mold back in red this time and have some printing on there, which is so cool. And on the other side, you also get arm printing. Then you also had a like new face print. It wasn't a new mold. We did get a Stitch minifigure before this, but it was a different print on there with a lot more of like a devious look. I just love that so much. I also love like the pink printing inside of his ears there. Really awesome. He also included 2 yellow blasters, which I think was like super cool as well. And this is an amazing minifigure. I just love Stitch so much. That was so cool to see this minifigure, and I was so excited to finally get him in LEGO form. And coming in 2nd place is the Indiana Jones minifigure. I was so glad to see the Indiana Jones theme return in 2023, and I really do hope we get more sets in 2024. And I was really sad to see that they canceled the Temple of Doom set. I would have loved to have seen that. I believe it's supposed to come with a unique Indiana Jones minifigure as well, so that would have been cool, but still, this is a great minifigure. This one in particular is the one from the Escape from the Lost Tomb set, and he has some unique colored hands that represent his gloves, which I think is so cool, and it gives me like such Raiders of the Lost Ark vibes. And I just love the leg printing as well there with his holster as well as his belt, and then you also get a great torso print with his iconic jacket, as well as like his shirt, and you can see a little bit of skin there. And on the back, you get some great detailing with like the gold coloring there. And again, I just love those hands so much. He also includes his iconic like satchel piece, which I think is super awesome. Then he includes his iconic whip, and it's just so cool and iconic with the character. Then I love this face print so much. You've probably seen me use this face on so many customs this year. I just think it is so great. I think it looks so much like Harrison Ford, and honestly, I think it's one of the best face prints LEGO's ever made, hands down. And on the back, you get another face print that looks even more like Harrison Ford. I think that just looks so accurate. Then you also got an amazing dual molded hair and hat combo, which is just so awesome. This is something definitely like that Indiana Jones needed, and it made it feel a lot more fresh compared to the older Indiana Jones sets. Like, it definitely had like a new modernized feel to it, and I really like that. This is such an amazing minifigure, and such a minifigure that needed an update, so it was so cool to see this one here. I love Indiana Jones so much, and honestly, this is probably one of my top 10 minifigures of all time. I just love it so much, and I'm very happy how this minifigure turned out. And coming in 1st place is, drumroll please, the Moon Knight minifigure from the Marvel CMF Series 2. This is probably the most detailed minifigure of the year. I mean, from the dual molded, printed, like side printed legs, from the arm printing with like the gold crescent blades, the amazing like torso print, as well as the brand new hood mold, and like such awesome face prints all around. This is easily my favorite minifigure of the year. I mean, just look at this minifigure. It's insanely detailed. His accessories were amazing with the scarab as well as a crescent blade. I love the white cape as well, and I just think everything is just so cool in this minifigure. Down from the dual molded legs, the side printing, the arm printing. I mean, there's really nothing more you could ask for with a minifigure, so this is definitely my favorite minifigure of the year. and honestly probably one of the best Marvel minifigures ever released. I mean, just look at this minifigure, it's incredible, and I'm so happy how this one turned out. But now I'll show you some honorable mentions, because there were so many that almost made this list, so let's jump to that. All these minifigures from the Avengers Tower nearly made this list. There's just some like minor things I didn't love about these minifigures that kind of held them back. Like for instance, the face print on Black Widow, I think probably needed to be new for her to be on this list. And Hawkeye, honestly, if his face was a different or like new print, easily would have been on the top 10, honestly. Captain America, I would have loved to have seen some dual molding on him, but everything else I just love. Absolutely love this battle damaged Iron Man. I just would have liked to have seen the old helmet mold used on him. The Wasp is an amazing minifigure. This I would have liked to have seen a new face print on her, as well as maybe some leg printing, but still love that minifigure. The Ultron I do really like. I just think the old version from the 2015 sets are a lot better. I love that Loki so much. He was like, probably would have been number 11 or 12 on the list if I could have included him. The Falcon's also a great minifigure. Just really wish his wings would have been printed. And then the Hulk is just so awesome. I just don't think he really counted as a minifigure, but the ability to remove the head and hair is just so awesome. But yeah, all these minifigures are great, and if I was doing a top 20, it would have easily made it. You have no idea how much I wanted to put the Guardians 3 minifigures on this list. I just love those minifigures so much. The Groot is very awesome. The Star-Lord is great. I just really wish his gloves would have been black like the movie. And I feel like with that big of an inaccuracy, I couldn't really put him on the list. But I still absolutely love this minifigure. This honestly might be my second favorite Star-Lord minifigure. I love it so much. And then Adam Warlock literally would have been number 11. I kid you not. I love that minifigure so much. There's like literally no complaints to have about it. I just think the minifigures on my top 10 just were a little bit more detailed, but still I love the Adam Warlock so much. I love Guardians 3. It was one of my favorite movies of the year, so all these minifigures are great, just barely missed the list. I really wanted to put honestly all the minifigures from the Marvel CMF series too. I just really struggle with that because like I just didn't want the whole list to be Marvel CMF minifigures, but if I could have put one more to be on the top 10, it probably would have been Kate Bishop. She's such an amazing minifigure and would have easily made a top 20. But all the other minifigures in this series are so amazing. I mean, we got Beast for the first time. Werewolf by Night probably would have made the list as well, just his face print is a little bit inaccurate, and I kind of wish he was in black and white. The Wolverine is insanely detailed, and honestly, all these minifigures could have made a top 10. I just didn't want the whole list to be CMF minifigures, but I still love them all so much, and they're some of the best minifigures out there. All these minifigures nearly made the list as well. I think they're all so detailed and just amazing minifigures. I just kind of preferred all the ones I put in the top 10 over these ones, but again, if I was doing a top 20, these ones definitely would have made the list. I don't know about like all of them, but these are like my top Disney minifigures of the year, with Stitch just a little bit above them. So love all these minifigures, and they nearly made the list as well. And I know Bambi doesn't count as a minifigure, but I mean, just look at that face. All of these Star Wars minifigures nearly made the list as well. This Din Djarin is just so cool. The only like real new thing on him though was the helmet print. I didn't want to put like an old minifigure with just an updated print on the list. The Admiral Yularen almost made it too. He's an amazing minifigure. Just I prefer the Rex and the UCS Fender. The Sabine Wren minifigure is also super detailed. Just the like primary base color they put in her was brown, and I believe her clothing in the show was more like gray. So I would have liked to have seen like a gray base on that minifigure. The Hera minifigure is also really detailed. Just I prefer some of the other Star Wars minifigures on the list. Chopper doesn't really count as a minifigure, but I just love Chopper so much. And then the Balin Skull and Shin-Hati minifigures were nearly on the list as well. I just wish their lightsabers were orange, and they would have included capes or something, but still these are great minifigures. And overall, I think all these minifigures are very awesome. They nearly made the top. One minifigure that I actually don't have in hand is the UCS X-Wing Luke Skywalker minifigure. This is like one of the best Luke Skywalker minifigures we've got. I mean, the arm printing on the side looks amazing, as well as like that leg printing on the dual molded legs, and I really like that face print with like the visor lifted up. So this is a great minifigure, and it would have been in my top 10 if I had the minifigure, but I just feel like I can't fairly judge it if I don't actually have the minifigure in hand, so I didn't count it on this list, but this is still a great one that released this year. These three villains from the Spider-Man No Way Home set almost made the list. It just kind of came down to some like detailing would have liked to have seen, as well as some more accurate prints. The leg printing for Electro, I'm not a big fan of. I would have liked to have seen a new leg print for him. And then Green Goblin's is like lacking leg printing completely, which is very unfortunate. And the Doc Ock's like completely inaccurate. His coat was definitely green in the movie, so I would have liked to have seen that. But still, these are great minifigures, and if they were just a little bit more detailed and accurate, they definitely would have made the top. All three of these Avatar The Way of Water minifigures nearly made the list. Surprisingly enough, these minifigures actually released in 2023, even though the movie released in 2022, surprisingly enough. I think they're all great, especially with the Spider and Jake Sully. The other minifigures in the wave don't quite do it for me to like be like even honorable mentions, but I think these ones are great. Nearly made the list. I just kind of prefer the other ones. I put on the top 10 a little bit more than these. A lot of you are probably wondering where some like the Harry Potter minifigures are on this list, and to be honest with you, I just watched the movies and I'm just now starting to collect that like theme, so I don't have a lot of those sets that released this year. But some of the minifigures in the Gringotts Bake I think are amazing minifigures, like the Hermione and Ron minifigure that can like swap heads, which I think is awesome. The Harry's also pretty good in that one, so those ones probably could have made the top 10, but again, since I don't have them like physically in hand, I can't really judge them fairly. But that is just my list of the 2023 LEGO minifigures. Let me know in the comments down below on what your ranking is for the top 10 minifigures of the year. If you disagree with my list, if you agree with my list, please let me know in the comments down below. Regardless though, I think it's been an absolutely amazing year for LEGO minifigures. We literally got a new Disney CMF series, a Marvel CMF series, a UCS Venator, an Avengers Tower. I think this has just been an incredible year for LEGO. Thank you so much for making it an incredible year for me on YouTube. I literally reached 2,000 subscribers, which I never thought would be possible. So just again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate it, and God has just truly blessed this channel. But let me know in the comments down below again what your ranking would be for these minifigures. I really do hope you enjoyed this video and have a very happy new year.